So we're going to do this. So welcome, ladies and gents, to a 1v1 Civ tier list, and this is looking at September 2022 with the latest patch overhaul update along with numerous hotfixes after it. So there's probably a few things that I've missed with the hotfixes because annoyingly the devs didn't really state specifically what they were changing or what balance improvements and changes they were actually making. They just had a very vague sort of bullet point that said we've made some adjustments or tweaks and stuff like that, but annoyingly they didn't state what, so it was down to the players, the community, to find out what they were. So if there's anything that I've missed, of course, let me know down in the comments below on YouTube, or guys in chat right now on Twitch, let me know if there's anything that I've missed, or maybe I say something and it's completely wrong. Make sure to correct me and let me know, because that will make my decision potentially different on what Civ I think is where it needs to be. So we're going to do this. You can see on this side here, to my right, we have the August Civ tier list. So we have it as a reference point, and I think that's really, really crucial so that we can look back at that and we can say, you know, what do we think? What do we think? What did we put before? So, hey, Creeper, how you doing, man? So we're going to start straight off with the one on the left here, United States. So lots of changes. I'm not going to go through all of the changes all the time with all the cards, but one of the key things with here was the Highlander card, especially, and also some changes to the starting crates, I believe, for the United States as well. And I think the Highlander card was quite powerful in H2, executed the right way, and there was a nerf to it, and it put it back into H3 with a coin cost. Overall, for now, I'm going to put United States in an A. I think they're hugely versatile, have great tempo, many different options that United States can do, and yeah, I just think they're a very interesting, diverse civilization, and yeah, just lots of opportunities with them, and I think they're relatively good, strong Civ. So I'm going to leave them in A for now. Moving on to Aztecs. So I've been playing Aztecs quite a bit, and there have been numerous nerfs. The ERK, the Eagle Runner Knight, has had a nerf. The warriors that you spawn from your community plaza, they had a nerf. Also the big one, 5 down to 4 However, they did have a corresponding buff, which was the High Priest of Istilton, which basically buffed your warrior priests by 20%. So it not only boosted the HP of your explorer, but it also buffed your warrior priests by a further 20%. So a lot of people that I've been speaking to, like people like Kinesi, for example, who is like, you know, one of the best Aztec players, saying overall that the change is probably a very slight nerf, but it's not as big as people think it is. I haven't really tried the warrior priest booming like to 10 warrior priests that much. I've been doing more of an H2 play, so I can't say for sure. But, you know, Aztec are either going to be in a high B or a low A for me. So we're going to just leave them at a high B for now, and we can jiggle them around. The Brits, I think they're definitely in an A still. Hasn't been too many. The only change that they had was a slight damage reduction, I believe, to the longbow. So overall, still pretty strong Civ. I'm going to leave them in A. I will move these around, of course, but let's just get them sorted first. China, now obviously a Civ that I play quite a bit. Quite a few changes to them. You had the French consulate change, so it made the French consulate a lot cheaper. So made their strategy change a little bit, I would say. And I still think they're a very strong civilization. Even though they have had a few nerfs in the past, I still think that they're a very strong naked FF Civ. I think they can play H2 relatively quite well as well. So I'm definitely going to put them in A tier. Now the Dutch, I might need help with the Dutch, to be honest, because I know that they did get their XP construction rate, or the XP bounty, was reverted on their banks, which made their age ups a lot quicker. Yeah, it's a difficult one for me, but for now I'll put them in a B tier. Now Ethiopia has had a lot. They do have the Bosniaks and Irish Briggs and the XP buff. That is true. They do have the Bosniaks. It's a pretty insane card for the Dutch. Now, whether or not they are better than the Aztecs is another question entirely. But we'll keep them here for now. Definitely 15% XP tempo increase is nice. Yes, it is. Yep, definitely. So let's leave them there for now. Ethiopia. Now, the Abans had a change. You can't have multiple Abans healing a unit, such as the Sebastopol Mortar, which is the big beefy mortar that does huge damage. And I think overall, Ethiopia and Hausa got some huge nerfs, especially to the TP. I believe you can't get influence on the TP. So, I don't know. I think Ethiopia isn't doing too well. So, I'd say they're probably like a low B at the moment. So, we'll leave them there. Now, the French. The French is an interesting one because I think the French is potentially now better than the States. I think the French, with numerous cards changes that they've had the Age 3, the Musk sort of rank card. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the rank card, I'm willing to put them up at the moment to around here. I think they're a very, very strong civ. I would definitely put them here for now. Promo card is overrated. France over USA. Yeah, I mean, it is difficult, isn't it? It is a difficult one to choose. Maybe just leave it there for now, potentially. We'll leave it there. So the Germans. So I think Germany, still a very strong civ. Very, very strong, especially with their new cards. They've got the mercenary card as well. So, yeah, but I know there's a lot of... Obviously, there's going to be a lot of views in chat, of course. I did see Lionheart's stream yesterday with tons of stuff in chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm mainly going to go over it myself, and I'll have a little look in chat as I'm going through. But I'm just going to put what I think down first. We'll have a look at chat. If there's anything that we hugely disagree with, or that, I can sort of, you can, try and persuade me on, we will move it around and then we'll lock it in and we'll decide. Okay. So Germany here. I think they're very strong civ. Are they better than China? I don't think so. I think they are definitely an A tier civ though. Very, very, very strong civ. Now, Hausa, I know they've had the change to the TP, and also the griots aren't as good now as well. So I don't know if I don't know if they need to be like high B. I think they're better than Ethiopia. I don't know if they're better than Aztec though. That's the thing. I'm kind of undecided there at the moment. Now Inca, I think Inca have had such a hard time. I mean, then in my eyes, they're near a C, to be honest. Are they worse than Ethiopia? I don't know. I'm gonna leave them here. Wait, slow down. Need more content. We're trying to do this quick. Nice, short, snappy. We don't want to ramble too much. I want to go with my first instinct mainly and just put the civ down, to be honest. So Inca, I'm very tempted to put in C. But if I put it in C, I feel like that Ethiopia might need to go with it. So we'll put them as a low B for now. India, I think, are a very strong civ. I think they are once still a hugely underrated civ. And they've just had another great buff to the Carni Martyr, for example. They've got a few new cards as well that could be quite useful. But the Carni Martyr buff is great. That gives you an option if you want to in Age 2 go Carni Martyr. Most of the time you're still going to go Agrafort, right? But yeah, so by the way, guys, if you the August 2022 is the old one. So that's like a reference point, by the way. It's an old one. Yeah, so India, I think I don't know. I think India are around here, but I don't know if China is better than India or India is better than China. You can't look at just the matchup between the two. You have to look at them obviously as a civ overall and how strong they are. India S tier, yeah, it's an interesting one. This one's going to be a tricky one for a conversation here. I think China potentially, it's difficult, very difficult. Okay, right, moving on. We have Haud. Now, I'm trying to think of the changes that they did to Haud. Did they nerf the Travois for the dock in Age 1? Or was that a previous nerf that they did? I'm still undecided about Haud. A Haud like high B? Are they better than Aztec? I don't know. I'm going to need help with Haud at some point in the end, guys, to be honest with you. Because I haven't played Haud in a long time, and I rarely play against people playing Haud. So it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. Yeah, highest B potentially for Haud, yeah. Now, Japan, once again, another civ that I'm not 100% hot with about how strong they are. I'm thinking to potentially put them in like a low A, Japan. I think a lot of these civs are probably overall better than Japan in my eyes. So I would be liking to put them in a low A, I would say. Now, Ottoman. Ottoman overall, I think, definitely improved the civilization, made them stronger. And if we look at where I put Otto before, see, before I put Otto as a sort of mid-B, you know, and I put them as they were worse than Inca at the time. So yeah, so Japan is a B plus tier civ for me, but Otto is A minus. Yeah, I think definitely now Otto they definitely deserve to bump up to the A now, especially with their Aztec units, the increased fire rate for the Abbas guns. They're still, I believe they're still not as good as the legacy Abbas guns, but still an overall buff. And apparently the attack rate on their new Hussar, the Delhi horseman, can be quite devastating as well. So I think with all that in mind, I think overall they've definitely had a buff. So before I had them in mid B. So I think we can definitely move them up to like a low A. So the A here is definitely extending. So yeah, so I'm going to probably, we are going to review these at the end. Now, obviously the big one, the biggie, the elephant in the room that is Portuguese. Now, this is going to be an interesting conversation because everybody is probably going to be thinking to put these guys in S tier. I don't think they're S tier. I'm going to say it. I know Lion said they're S tier. I'm going to disagree. I don't think they're S tier, and I'll tell you why. They got the extra organ gun. Fantastic. However, the organ gun now costs 200 gold to get 3 of them. Yes, they can get that extremely quickly. They can age up to age 3 extremely quickly with 3 organ guns. However, they did lose their Mameluke shipment, and that was a big one. That was a big one. The Mameluke shipment was huge. That gave ports, great options for when fighting in age 3, because, normally it would be, Cassador Goon kind of composition, and the MAM switch or the MAM pop was a great thing to see. And also, yeah, of course, with the upgrades for Cav now, you've got to have 2 cards to actually upgrade them. And yeah, and also the trickle card. So the Fitoris, or however you pronounce it, that trickle card for the TC, that is a great thing for ports. That is a really great thing that basically drops. You can see in my last one here, just to the right here. Last month they're in C. They're definitely in A now. I don't think they're S. I think obviously they still perform greatly on water maps. Of course, one of the strongest or the strongest civ on water maps. Land maps, no. So overall, I would say that they are definitely an A. Where we put them is an interesting question. Whether we put them here and USA is still better than ports, this is always going to be a big contention here, like about this kind of decision here. But we're going to leave them here for now. S and C exist for a reason. Yes, they do, but we've really got to be careful when we say like, is something S, is it C? C is rough, and this is where I come on to the next civilization, Russia. I think Russia has been really screwed over in these patches, in the latest patch. I'm sure you guys can agree with me. Russia has taken another hit, and I've got to say, I think Russia is the civ right now that he's in C. I think that's fair to say. It's kind of difficult because then you got to try and look at the other civs and like, is Russia really worse than these civs? I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll decide that at the end. But I think Russia, C, with the Boyers reduction, that was huge, down to only 10% now. It just makes the H2, momentum and push and pressure that Russia is known for as the civilization, that you definitely struggle. So I'm definitely going to put Russia in C now of where they are. So now we've got Lakota. Now, another civ that had really strange nerfs. One is the Axe Rider shipment in H2. So you had 4 Axe Riders, now you have 3 Axe Riders, which is really harsh. So that was a great shipment to get out early on. You'd use that to maybe raid, just harass, stuff like that very early on in the game. Now you only get 3 of them, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Would I put them in C with Russia? I don't know. I am kind of want to put them around here, to be honest. Kind of like mid to low B now. You can see before Lakota were around that before. You can see in my last one I did in August, they were kind of in sort of mid to top B. I think they're probably mid to low B now because of the changes. So I'm going to put them here, but it's tricky because you've got Ethiopia and Inca. I think they're better than that, but Dutch I think is definitely better now overall than Lakota because of the new cards they have and stuff like that I've already mentioned. So Spain obviously had a few reductions, a few nerfs to Spain. I think the dogs got nerfed a bit. I can't actually remember, guys. Can someone hit me up with the Spain changes? Just a rough breakdown. I've got to remember, like I'm losing the plot with these civs. So Spain is a big one, so we need to be careful how we do this because they were one of the strongest civs pre the September. Got an extremely light nerf on the dogs for Spain. This is a tricky one. I'm inclined to put them around here, like either just before USA or maybe after USA. It's a tricky one. Yeah, Spanish Gold. They did improve Spanish Gold as well. Yeah, Spanish Gold had a slight shipment rate nerf. Spain has to be ranked high for the fact it's an easy executionable FF timing civ with big shipments. That is true. But we've got to be careful where we draw the line here of whether we say... What we're saying is we're saying how strong a civilization is, not how easy it is to pull off openings and stuff like that. Although that could also be viewed as how strong a civ is. It kind of gets a little bit messy when we start to think about that. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming. Very, very straightforward civ to execute, similar to Ottomans with their strategies and stuff. Quite straightforward. So yeah, let's put them. Brits better than French. Brits better than French. Yeah, I saw it, but it was all low elo discussion. Ooh, Crab got calling it. I still think Brits is better than Ports. Ooh, I don't know about that. Brits better than Port. Tricky one. Anyway, let's move on. Swedes. Now, Swedes had a great buff, I think. Really, really good buff to Swedes. Let's see where we last put Swedes. We put Swedes like low B. Low B. I think Swedes now, I think either low A, high B now. Sweden A, yeah. China S. Interesting. You guys are great. I think Sweden are definitely low A now. I think they've moved up. Most definitely. Are they better than Japan? Potentially. They could move up around here maybe. The A- area. Yeah. Low A. Still has some horrible matchups. Yeah. It's still tricky, but with the hacker pellet sort of change as well, means they can start utilizing the hacker pellets. Obviously, there's some good outlaw play that you can do, or mercenary play. I always get mixed up with mercenary outlaws natives, but you know what I mean. Also, with the... just trying to think what else Sweden have had. At least Widgie got Russia right. Hey, hopefully I'm getting a lot right here. Let's move on. We've got 3 more to do. So we have Mexico. Now, I've got to say, I haven't really seen a great deal of Mexico myself after this patch. And I can't actually say for sure what changes Mexico have had. So I'm relying on you guys here to just give me an overview. Because the last time that we mentioned Mexico, Mexico were like a high B. My last one. They got a small nerf, cav nerf. Okay. Yeah, the hacker pellets OP for Sweden. Yeah, that's definitely brought them up into the A, I think. Yeah, that's it. The Chinako does have less multiplier against cav. That's correct. Yeah. So, what do we think? Playing in China's community, laming with the giant grenadier now. Yes, I've heard a lot of people with the giant grenadier with the Swedes because you can train them. So you get the card and then you're able to train them from your barracks. Apparently, the giant grenadiers are absolutely insane, so it can be quite a lamey, sort of cheesy strat that you can do. I think potentially maybe like high B here, but I'm kind of unsure of whether or not, Aztec is better because of their changes as well. The ERK, for example, and I've mentioned before the nerfs to Aztec. I don't know whether I want to kind of put Aztec in front, to be honest. Next, we look at Italy and Malta, the 2 latest DLCs. Yeah. Once again, annoyingly, I'm actually quite in the dark about these 2 civs. I haven't really played them after the patch, and I'd have to have a look at the patch notes in detail, because there were so many patch notes, and Italy before were very high. They were top 4. So they are rank 4 in civs. Yeah, Malta gets the 1k coin. That's big, yeah. Now, the Italy is tricky, to be honest. I feel like Italy has sort of dropped down into like the lower A because of just the other civs that have received decent buffs, like France, for example, Ports, USA as well. Also, India with the Carni Martyr upgrade. I just feel like Italy has sort of fallen on the wayside a little bit. Still within A, I think. But I don't know. I'm getting a feeling of like maybe a little bit better than Germany. That's where I'm kind of feeling them right now. No way Ports are lower than S right now. I don't know. I've already mentioned this. I disagree. I do. I think that the strat that there is right now for Ports, once players start to learn the strategy and how to pressure it and how to deny them of their second TC, how to rush them early, I think that, you know, there will be more successful games against Ports. I think like so for example, like denying, so how is that going to work? So you can do pike shipments. Maybe not, hang on, maybe not denying the second TC. Maybe I mean the third TC. And do I mean the second TC? No, like normally, like depends on what civ you're playing, right? But if I play Aztec, I'm going to open up with spears, to be honest. Yeah, Sheikh can do it. Yeah, you've really got to just be very, very aggressive against Ports because the minute they get to age 3, they're going to be wanting to ship organ guns. But most of the time, I mean, this is just me, but obviously I'm not a high elo player, right? But most of the time when I play against Ports, they will ship the 3 organ guns, but they will have barely anything else to try and defend against those organ guns. So if you actually play a strong, aggressive age 2, a lot of times you can actually deny the organ guns, or the organ guns will come out and you can just swarm it and shut it down pretty much. And once that's done, their tempo is just really dropped off, especially when they lose the organs. But yeah, it's a relatively easy strategy to kind of execute, I could say. So that's why they're definitely up there right now as the number 1. But I still don't think they belong in the S, to be honest. Anyway, so let's have a look at Malta. So Malta got a 1k coin shipment, which is very nice. They were in high B. I'm kind of want to put them around the low A now, to be honest, Malta. So yeah, so I'm kind of wanting to put them there. So this is where we are right now. So obviously there's going to be a bit of jigging around. A lot of people are saying about the whole French, Brits, also China, India. That's a difficult one. Is India now better than China? Is China better than India? You know, same with Germany as well, receiving some new cards and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's kind of... It's very tricky. It's very tricky to make a decision here. Like, Aztec overall has had a slight nerf, I think. I don't think it's as huge as people think it is. But, you know, I think before they were kind of like mid to low A, and now they're kind of dropped down into like the high Bs. German cards are meh. Landvers is good, though. I don't think the Landvers card is that good, actually. I thought that card was quite gimmicky. I like the crossbow transformation card. Yeah, is that the Landvers card? I don't know. I've never really seen that. Looks better than Lionheart's tier list. Well, I don't know. It's majority of it is very subjective. It's very subjective, and obviously it's all about my opinion, isn't it? A lot of this is my opinion, obviously with the help of you guys. So, got to put someone in S though. Let's get controversial. Yeah, S tier is civs that need nerfs. True. I think maybe if USA didn't get the adjustment to the Highlander card in age 2, maybe USA potentially could have been in front of Ports, but I don't know. I think they're very strong. I think Spain are still very strong. French have had some great buffs, and you can see, look at my last one. France was kind of like mid-B. They've now bumped up to mid-A. That makes sense, right? How is USA that high when they get lots of nerfs to the unit shipments, etc., while others have got buffs? Well, no. I think USA are definitely still up there. 100%. If you look at my last one, they were like number 1 civ. right? So they've received nerfs and they've dropped down now into high A. Inca is C, by the way. Yeah, I am thinking about C, but low B, I think low B is fair. I think low B is fair. Now, are there any major adjustments here, guys? Before we complete this, and we've done this very quick, by the way, guys. We've done it in about half an hour. We've done it. We've gone through this many civs. How many is it? Like 26? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Oh, 22. Thought they were way more than that. 22 civs. We've done it in half an hour. So is there anything major? Make sure you tag me right now with anything majorly wrong. Majorly wrong. Tag me right now in chat. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I haven't lost to an Inca native strat in a while. Yeah, like that's like, as I say, Inca are very gimmicky, you know. Okay, so D2 Refunded says, I would pull Sweden and Malta down to B. Haud and what's Dutch? Haud and Dutch. Oh, Dutch. Haud and Dutch up to A. Otto and Paul up to S. Otto S? I don't think so. I can't get on board with that. Yeah, Dutch. Okay, yeah, Dutch. Where do we have Dutch before? Okay, so Dutch hasn't really moved. Okay. All right. It's had some decent buffs as well. So if we move Dutch up to like a high B now, how are we looking now? Because what are you guys saying here? Sweden is so good right now, I'd honestly put them higher. Potentially. I mean, there's still like a mid-A, mid to low A. Dutch high B, I think that's fair. Also agree Otto should be higher. Yeah, they are a little low, aren't they? But if I move them, I'm going to have to move something else. If I move them along, I'm going to have to shimmy something else along. Are Otto better than Swedes? Overall, that's the question. Could they go here? Could they move up a bit? But then Swedes are still quite, they're pushed quite low down. Do we need to move it up like that? What about that? That's some big changes there. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty good. Oh, Julian's in chat. Yeah, Julian. Julian. Any help would be great, but I think we're getting closer. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to get into some 1v1s now. I'm going to lock that in. I love how Port have just gone from the bottom to the top. Like, it's just insane, isn't it? Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before with the Civilization so far in DE.